Hi everybody, I'm Suni. Welcome to ReSet, a time intended for me and you, if you choose to join me, to practice calming skills. Learning the skills to calm yourself is part of the job in meditation and mindfulness, but the other part is just to practice. The more we practice when we're not in particularly stressful times, the more we develop skills, strengths, so that when stress comes, we are much more comfortable in practicing some of these new behaviors. Tonight, the topic is going to be just about awareness. We talked last week about equanimity, and I wanted to kind of flow from that into awareness, and we'll just explore how that goes. But first, have a seat. Settle into your chair. Allow your eyes to drift closed if you can. And just settle in. As you find your comfortable center, leaning a bit left and right, front and back, find that balance point where your body is exerting as little energy as possible to remain upright, if you're upright. Take in a deep breath with me, pause, and let that air back out. Breathing in and breathing out. Beginning with the breath serves two purposes. The first purpose is the deep breath signals your central nervous system that everything's okay. And the central nervous system then sends that message to body, mind. It's using the way you're wired to its best advantage. So you allow your nervous system to help your brain calm down. So breathing in and breathing out. The other power of the breath is to be sort of a home base for you as you practice these skills. And what I mean by home base is simply your attachment, connection to this moment. The power in mindfulness and meditation is that they are calling us to be present in this moment. And our brain wants to run rampant into the past and the future, sometimes reminding us of sweet memories, and when those come, just enjoy them. But if your mind is worrying or pointing to things that you know will fuel anxiety or tension, nervousness, our job in meditation is simply to notice when our brain is doing that. Acknowledge, what is it pointing us at? What is it worrying about? Make note of it. And then also call your attention back to this moment. And that's what this idea of a home base or an anchoring point is for. And the traditional anchoring point is the breath. Feeling the cool air flowing in over your nose, in through your nose. Feeling the sensation of the expansion of ribs and belly. Letting the air flow out with an awareness that exhaling is a great time to try to let go, or to simply release those things that don't serve you anymore. If this anchor point, however, doesn't suit you, doesn't serve you well, and there are many that it does not, particularly some people with PTSD will find this deeper breathing somehow triggering. And if that's you, or if you just want to explore, talk about a few other anchoring points, home base points for you to explore. So your role is always simply to focus in this moment, calling your attention into now, knowing full well now can bring challenges and now can bring comfort, but turning your attention within is your opportunity to say, where am I in all of this? So scanning your body, your thoughts, your heart, and just checking in with where you are in this moment. Maybe you didn't sleep well and you're a little tired. Just acknowledging that without throwing yourself into the woe is me pit. I was like, I'm a little tired today. Well, then maybe we'll take a walk at lunch. Maybe we'll get to bed earlier tonight. Maybe we'll cut the coffee off earlier. But being aware of where you are in this moment is a big part of this practice. And when your mind wanders, and sometimes understand that it strenuously will try to pull you out of this moment. It does not mean you can't do this. It means that's why we're practicing. So when the mind maybe wanders somewhere in the past or the future or whatever, just notice, where did it go? What's it trying to say to you? What's important to it? And you're making note of where your mind goes as an observer or a reporter. A reporter steps back from the scene of whatever he or she is reporting on and notes the facts without getting too emotionally involved. So in meditation, we practice kind of stepping our presence, if you will, back a little bit from your brain. So that if you were moving your hand in front of your face, you could watch your hand move. As your brain is wandering off, you can watch it too. Just notice where it goes. Oh, I'm worrying again. Oh, I'm fussing about that news story I watched last night. But from an objective perspective and not so much an emotional one. And once you've noted where the brain has gone, perhaps there's something there you need to pay attention to, acknowledge, then call your attention back to your anchor or your home base. We started with the breath. Now try turning your attention to your seat, meaning feeling the weight of your body against your chair, your sturdy, strong support. Chairs connected to the floor, connected to the foundation of the building, rooted deep into the soil. So explore for a few minutes how using the seat feels to you. Can you feel your connection with the earth, and is that calming? Yes, as you explore this seat, this connection to the earth, your mind will wander again. Note what's going on as an observer, and then call it back to your home base, your connection, your anchor to this moment. people find a settled feeling through different things. The breath, the seat. Sometimes we anchor to the sounds around us because they are in the present moment. Rather than seeing the sound of traffic going by outside the window as a distraction, use it as your anchor into this moment. Being present, being aware of where you are right now. And the last option I'll offer you in anchoring is to feel your fingertips or your hands resting gently together, not clutching one another in a death grip, but gently. I often will have my fingertips together and my palms apart by an inch or two, sitting in my lap. And just feeling the sensation of your fingertips. Sometimes you can feel that gentle warmth building between your palms. There is an energy flow in your fingertips, in your whole body, but sometimes you can really feel it in your fingertips because they're so sensitive. Allow your attention to rest on that sensation as your anchor or your home base into this present moment. Explore that for a bit. Still breathing fully, but not forcing anything. Still considering the exhale as an opportunity to release. If your eyes were closed, let them float gently back open. So that little practice was just intended to help you explore the connecting yourself to this present moment. Your whole life is in this moment. Any opportunity you have in this life is connected to the now. Chances to practice calming. Chances to learn, to receive, to give, to love, to share, to savor that which is around us. Being present in this moment is all about awareness. Pulling our awareness of the world from within, as opposed to pulling our mood and our awareness and our thoughts from the world around us. Not that we need to be unaware of what's going on in the world today, but often it's very good to pull yourself into this present moment, your present moment, to find that connection, to take that time to assess as an observer or a reporter, how you doing? How are you doing? How am I doing? And you might be struggling right now. And meditation is never intended to say, oh, just breathe that out. Being aware of the struggle is important. For many of us, if I don't acknowledge when something's starting to eat at me, something's starting to nag at me, and I push it away and push it away and push it away, that's when we want to stop and notice, where's our mind going? Because if I ignore it too long, it will come roaring at me and cause discomfort and outbursts of various sorts of unpleasantry. So being aware of what's going on in the world is one thing, but being more aware of your world right here, the world right around you. How is that world? And approaching it and the world beyond with the equanimity that we've been talking about lately. The idea that expecting everything to be the way you wish it would be is not rational. You know full well that life is filled with ups and downs. And you've been through many of them, and you'll probably be through many more. So to expect to stay on that high, that peak experience. We visit the peak. Oh, it's lovely up there. I can't live up there because if I try to too hard, I'll come tumbling down the hill. Life is about appreciating it when you're having those beautiful moments. And also to notice when your moments aren't so sweet. We're in a transformative time. I hesitated to use the word an unprecedented transformative time because a friend of mine was telling me the other day about how she's so tired of that word. But these are times that we haven't experienced before. And so, yeah, there's going to be challenges. But bearing in mind that this isn't going to be like this forever. Things are shifting. I believe they're shifting for the better. Many people believe they're shifting for the better. And I think that we can take action to make that shift even more positive through taking actions inside this little world that we live in, each of us. If I make my space, my world, myself as balanced and calm and positive and helpful and loving and compassionate and empathetic as I can, most of the time, then that affects other people. And when I ignore what's going on inside me and then I interact with other people, the experience is not very calming or fulfilling for them, comforting, compassionate for them. And then their world is affected that way. So I want to make my being, my space, my energy field, however that big they may be to you, I want to make it a place of peace. It's not always. It's not always. So these practices are intended to help us build our awareness of where we're at, offer ourselves some comfort in where we're at, some awareness of what's going on, even when things are not going our way, to remind ourselves that they will be back in a positive way again, in glimpses and snippets. So let's finish our practice together. And I'd like you to choose your anchor point, your home base, if you will. Be it the breath, the seat, some sounds around you, with the touch of your hands with one another. The object is to choose one. Choose one and hold that through your practice. See how it goes. So settle back in and breathe. Allow your eyes to close, turning attention within. doing a quick physical assessment. Am I comfortable? Is there tension that I can release? Scanning your body, checking in with emotions. Find your anchor point, your home base point that was going to keep your attention in the now. And then simply practice. And I'm going to be mostly quiet so you don't think that the volume on your computer is broken. And let's all just savor some silence. And yes, in the silence, it's even more easy for that mind to wander. But it's important to practice you developing the skill to call your mind back without me reminding you. So when the mind wanders, notice where it goes. Be the observer without throwing yourself into where the mind is trying to distract you. And gently calling it back by turning your awareness back to that anchoring, feeling, sound, sensation. And then just settle into the moment. Your mind isn't still. It's not without thought. I like to think of it as comfortably floating, thinking about this moment, sensations I'm having in this moment, feelings I'm having in this moment, what they might mean to me in this moment. It's the distracting or upsetting thoughts that are not in this moment that we call the mind back from. For the last few minutes of our meditation, allow me to make a suggestion. We've explored awareness of what's going on with us, hopefully with a feeling of equanimity, understanding that things aren't always going to go our way. That's okay. finding or accepting the beauty in that. That is the nature of the world. Now, if you can, cultivate feelings of love for this world. I do that by remembering a time when I felt great love, or I feel great love. Not just thinking about love in my head, but allowing the attention to flow down into my chest, into the heart center, and really remembering what it feels like to experience love. And I don't necessarily mean that romantic love, although that's lovely too. But the deep caring for another, the awe one might feel in nature when the beauty is so great. It's almost too much to be taken in. Think of love as that compassion you might feel for others who are struggling. For the plants and the animals, for our planet. Fill yourself with love and compassion. And as you begin to be filled, include yourself as an object of your love and compassion. Allowing this feeling of love and compassion, positive energy to fill your body and radiate around you. Imagining or visualizing or sensing that you are surrounded with this energy of love and compassion, of positivity and hope. Savor this. Build this. And then before we close, remember that this energy that you've built around you goes with you after our practice. But right now, send this energy to someone or something that's on your heart. Sending this love, this compassion, this positive energy to another does not deplete you. It just adds a bit more light to our world. If your eyes were closed, let them float back open. Thanks for joining me. I hope this was helpful. Sometimes the practices are very, very basic, and I'm sure you feel like I've heard this before from you. But the beauty of meditation, mindfulness, awareness, being present is all about the practice. I can teach you probably in 5 minutes basic skills that you would need, but boy, without practice, it's just 2, 3, 4 more things floating around in your head. It's this practice time that makes a difference for me and for you. So thank you so much for joining me. Breathe deeply, feel this connection, this contact point, this home base, not just when you're seated in practice. Feel it when you're anxious at work. Feel it when you're going into a new meeting. Feel it when you're headed into a new situation. Remember that you are anchored in this present moment and you're okay. So thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon.